Hello everyone, my name is Denise and today I'll be talking on the topic product or person. So to start, I'm going to show you a hat. This hat, I bought this on Shopee. It looked very different when I saw it on Shopee. So when it came, it looks a bit like a flailed jellyfish kind of thing. So what are the chances that I will wear this out? Close to zero lah, to be honest. And likely I'm just going to put this with my next donation package. So of course I was irritated. Let me tell you what was going through my mind at that time. I was thinking, you have a big factory of people making that product, so that costs time for you. I mean, a lot of effort, right? Buy the raw materials, buy the machines, pay the people. And after you make that product, you put it through a supply chain, put it on a ship or put it on a plane and send it all the way to Singapore to my doorstep, only to end up in the bin or in the donation. What a shame. That's why I said, what a shame. That's what I was thinking. And what impact does it have on the environment? I was flabbergasted. And it doesn't only happen once. That's just one of my less successful purchases, but there are of course good purchases. This shirt I bought from Shopee as well. But the point is, if we keep making this kind of purchases, we're actually allowing companies to continue running and continue to make products that do not work and send it to your house and have what's the impact on the environment. Okay, so let's say if I'm going to write a very nasty message, nasty feedback to the company and ask them to shut down this factory that is making ugly pink hats. Shut it down so that you can save the environment. What happens next? So imagine there's a staff in that company. The staff has a very elderly mother who's in hospital, and she needs this job because she needs the income to pay for the medical bills. So this staff, maybe she's the head of product development, and she was the person who can be held accountable for designing these ugly pink hats. Then I wrote that nasty message and email. Let's say I'm very powerful and they really have to shut down, and now she's without a job. What is the impact on her? Probably quite great. She cannot bring back the bacon. She cannot pay for the mother's medical bills. The mother has to be taken care at home, and then her health deteriorates. The lady, she's stressed. She don't know where to get the money from. Like a whole cascade of social impact. Okay. So this actually, what the point of all this is to bring about a so-called of a thought in you, which I'm hoping to inspire, as to, are companies here to create good products? Is that their primary duty to create good products for consumers? Or are they also here as a means to create jobs for employees? Interesting. Okay, so it is good at this point to push across to talk briefly about our Catholic social teaching. If you want more details, you can read Rerum Novarum. So it talks about jobs as a means to an end. The ultimate end is the human. It's not the opposite, like humans are the means to an end. So what it means is that a job is here to enrich the person, to create a ground for them to self-actualize and to get dignity, essentially what they need to get income and to get dignity, a place to learn and contribute back to society, to feel important and all that. So that is what the job should be primarily focused on, to provide a means to an end, which is ultimately the betterment of the human being. Okay, so they say, whoa, that's totally don't flow with me, because I'm the consumer, and why should I have to bear the whole impact of that person's personal life, right? So it almost seems as if there is, if you are the leader of that company, the CEO, you have a job to do. You have to balance between product or staff welfare, right? And it is a very fine balancing act, because if you keep making bad products, eventually the investors, you get a lot of bad reviews on Shopee, people will stop buying, and when the sales drop, the investors for your company will start to question what's happening. So it's also important to keep the product up so that these people can continue to have a job, right? Okay, so you might think that, well, this is all too idealistic for me. I'm the type, like, I'm the ultimate consumer. I just want a good product at low cost, as low as possible. That is all I want, and that's all I'm able to think about. Then you're wrong, because there is a seed of goodness in you. Let me ask you a hypothetical question. If you've been to Crossings Cafe, or in the past there's Food for Thought, you would know that this is like a restaurant that hires people on the autism spectrum. So your food, it still comes, but sometimes it takes a longer time. Sometimes you spend longer trying to communicate with the waiter. But once you go into that cafe, somehow you are able to shove aside your own selfish needs for a moment and be more patient, because you know that, okay, well, this sucks, my food is coming 5 minutes later than it used to come, but at least it offers a job for these autistic people so that they can continue to make an income, a dignified income, in an environment that's safe for them, right? So there is this seed of goodness in every one of us. It's just whether it is cultivated and how far can you stretch it. For example, you know, my original training before I became a counselor was in food science and technology and nutrition. So when I was working at AVA last time, we did also organic audits for organic food, and I went for a lot of some organic training. So for example, you want to buy a broccoli, and that is conventional farming, maybe it costs $5, but if you buy an organic one, it might be $15, so it's marked up $10. But of course I know the process, since I was participating in the audit before, from the very start, going to the farm and checking out how they use organic ways of farming. Instead of one giant monoculture, now we have small little batches so that we can control the pests, and organic fertilizers, organic pest control, all that, and then the welfare of the organic farmers, and then the supply chain to make sure they don't intermingle with the conventional food. So all that, I say, okay, that's what we are paying for. But see, the consumers, not all of us are very educated on what we're paying for, the extra $10 that into that broccoli. And also a lot of that, us also, we are stretching our wallets, right? Like, I don't even bring back much money, and now I have to pay the extra $10. All I am concerned is that I have healthy food on the table for my kids. So all these factors have to be considered. Okay? Just something to think about. No clear conclusion, because the thinking is on you, not on me. The onus is on you to think this through. Okay, there was this story that I heard. It's true. In the US, there is this phenomenon that in order to encourage people to use the trail, the railway, the train, they actually built a theme park, or what they call maybe a fairground, at the very last station, so that people will take the train to the fairground. It's quite interesting if you think about it, right? Most of the time you imagine, okay, I built that theme park at the end, then now I need to have a way to get there, to get my consumers to the fairground, so now I built the train track. But they actually did it opposite. They built the train track, then they built the fairground. So, which means that, let's say if you already have a good team of staff that's making a product, but the product still currently sucks, that's still okay. That's still okay. You already have the train track. Now let's try to get that product better. If you have a lousy pink hat and that is the main product that you're selling to make ends meet, then I would suggest you, but to improve that product quickly, not to fire your product development team, but to so-called do something about it. Okay? Because remember, the job is also something very important to them, very important if I extrapolate it, pull it apart, important for whole social welfare of the whole state, for people to be employed gainfully. Okay, I want to just insert this in. Positive energy of the product. I learned a lot about this from Marie Kondo. You know, she's the lady very famous for minimalism, decluttering and all that, like about things that spark joy. You know, she holds a piece of clothing, maybe this shirt, which I love this shirt. I hold it and it sparks joy. Okay? But what about it sparks joy? For me, okay, I like it. It's very nice and comfortable. I love this color. It makes my skin look fairer. So okay, I love this product. It sparks joy. But if I could use a more new age term, think about the energy in this product. If from the time the fabric and the threads are made, and the sewing machine is made, and the staff, they are happy, every single factor in that is well controlled, so to speak, and emits positive energy to the final product, then when I finally receive it, I would sort of feel a positive vibe from it. So that's for this shirt. But that the same thing, of course, applies also to like that organic head of broccoli that went through so much extra trouble to produce the same head of broccoli. That broccoli has more positive energy, right? So contrast that to a company that really pushes the staff to work 10, 12, 14 hours a day, and then they are severely malnourished, they don't sleep well, they're anxious, they need to see counselors like me. So that the final product from that product line will obviously not spark that much joy. So in conclusion, the question that I want you to think about today is the product more important or the person more important, and who gets to decide? All this points to the importance of having really good leadership that is driven not only by profit margins and to get more and more investors in, but by very good moral values, and but at the same time not just so overwhelmed with these moral values that the leader herself cannot hold multiple perspectives. Like, she has a responsibility, as a CEO, towards the consumer, so that they get a decent product, not one that has such great environmental impact and still doesn't serve its function, which is to be fairly decent looking, that I can wear outside on the streets and on my morning walks. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, kindly press subscribe, like and share with your friends. Thank you and God bless.